of this province.
Okay.
And I would like to just ask very few ones, just very quick answer from the beginning. So first of all, just to confirm, does SWN have a development permit to explore for shale gas?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have a shale gas lease been granted? Like not the development permit, but the actual shale gas lease. Has it been granted?
They have a shale gas lease for 3 years. It's a three-year.
Exactly.
They have an exploration license. They have several exploration licenses.
And that lease, the actual lease is exploring, we can take out, no? The drilling license, that's
No,
what the lease.
It's a license, not a lease.
It's an exploration license, it's not a lease.
So,
For 3 years, and they have to spend a certain amount of money, and it'll primarily will be on exploration.
exploration means to look for a searching lease, no? So there has been, can I confirm there has been no lease yet been signed or granted to the industry to actually drill?
That's correct, that they are operating under an exploration license.
Yeah, I know the difference
and
between these licenses.
They can drill on an exploration license for exploration purposes.
To find out if it's there, but not to actually extract yet.
I'd have to check. There may be. I think for the purposes of, again, to find out if it's there, but to determine if it's producible, they may have to produce for a period of time to see if it can produce in what we refer to as paying quantity. In other words, is it economic? It may be there, but it may not be economic.
So,
the way you determine
permission within this lease that is for exploration
license
does include that part when the well actually has gas in it, they can take it out within this next 3 years. No, let's just confirm this. Whatever's there. Okay.
For the purposes of testing. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but testing and production within this to make us maybe cost benefit. Very quick, direct question. How do you intend to dispose of the wastewater, the flowback water, and the produced water that will come back out? We know there are millions of liters of water pushed in. It'll come back out. There is contaminants of heavy metals down in the ground as well as chemicals that we put into them. What is your plan?
Right now, the water is being shipped to Nova Scotia to be processed.
To which facility?
I believe it's in Quebec, Nova Scotia. Debert, Nova Scotia. I'm not sure of the name of the company.
And this company is specialized in heavy metals and sulfur, chloric acid and all these things?
That's my understanding.
Is it?
It has to be approved by the Department of Environment.
Yes.
The plan has to be approved by them.
And is this facility set up to address all the chemicals that are in there? All chemicals that are in that water?
You should probably talk to the Department of Environment about that, because that is a water question. But my understanding is that there's this plant operating in Nova Scotia, and it's permitted to do certain things. So the water that arrives there, if it's contaminated, for them to take it, they're operating under a Nova Scotia permit to treat it. So you should either talk to the Department of Environment about that, or talk to Nova Scotia.
No, I'm not talking to Nova Scotia.
Well,
No. Can I just confirm? Can I just re-insist my question? You're the Minister of Natural Resources. Your mandate is to manage these resources in your best interest, in our best interest actually, not in yours, in ours. So I would like to have a better answer to this question. I would like to know much more clearer. I would really need a response on what is the exact plan, because we know right now water is being shipped to the Bay of Fundy from a Penobscot area. So this is something you could follow up on me further, because we don't have enough, but I really, you have my address, you have my contact.
And I'll ask the Department of Environment on that. I'm not saying I'm
this is something
110%
exactly, but the Department of
just
Environment needs to speak with the Minister of Natural Resources.
Sure.
It's not my duty only. No? You have to be. How are you intending to transport the gas, if there is any? With pipeline or trucks? Is there going to be pipelines being built?
Well, the maritime pipeline is in place right now.
And you will use that to transport gas out of this province?
Just to clarify, before any gas can be produced, before any well can be drilled, before any gas can be produced, before any gas can be transported, the project will have to be registered under EIA. All that is determined at that time, what can and can't be done, how it's going to affect the environment, how it's going to affect the public, how it's going to affect all those things.
Yeah, I understand.
That is the process that we use. We don't necessarily know all the details right now.
Okay, that's all I need to hear.
But that's what it is.
How and when do you plan to inform the New Brunswick people about, and I mean clearly make a statement about potential risks and the real costs of this development, so that we can all make an informed decision?
Well, that's in the EIA process, which we regulated, phased in, and we've actually done that at the 2 wells in the Elgin area of the phased-in EIA process. And there's public consultation with that EIA process. And if I could just say that, you know, there may be another well this year, there may be 1 or 2 exploratory wells next year, there may be 1 or 2 exploratory wells the year after that. So we don't even know yet if the business is there yet. And that's why the seismic testing, which will take place in the next 6 weeks. And then once the 6 weeks is up, then they'll take all those results, look it over them for in the winter time, and then. This
is the economic side of it, and that's one part of the function. But as we know, everything has a cost and a benefit. Cost, social, cost and benefit in all the 3 spheres: social, economic, and environmental. So I think we don't have time enough today to talk about all this, but it's clear that there is a lot of things still to be informing the public about, because if you do something, you cannot only say it's good for you, you have to also make sure that everybody knows what they're getting into, what are the potential risks, and what are the real costs of this undertaking.
And I think that's why we have the steering committee in place right now of 3 ministers, the deputy ministers,
who are sitting on them.
And we have representatives from the Department of Natural Resources, we have representatives from the Department of Health, Department of Energy, and the Department of Environment. And they're the ones that are on the steering committee.
And this is from the government, that's great, but we need public consultation, because a lot of people that we're approaching from government. I'm not sure, you didn't give me the names who's on the steering committee. I would appreciate if you later could tell me the names. The people that we have asked, a lot of people claim we don't have enough information. We don't have enough information. I feel very informed on the subject. I have informed myself. I have read a lot on the industry, about the industry, and also from all sides. I feel very informed, and I am. I know how to do my research. So I really wonder why some politicians will still say I don't have enough information. So I really hope that this group does have all the information. If not, I really think why is there not input from the public into these meetings, and I'm not talking about a closed forum, what we had up there. This was not open to the public. This is where we met the first time in front of the Fredericton Inn, and I still believe that this was is not the right approach to go. We need to you need to consult more of the people.
And that's when I worked with MLA Kirk MacDonald in his riding, and Kirk asked me to come out to his riding approximately a month or a month and a half ago. We had a very open meeting, closed doors, very open, and we couldn't discuss everything that night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the second meeting, but all the staff was out there from all the different areas to discuss the next week too. So we are.
I do hope that you're hearing that you are